Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Vastola on the Law. This is Jeff Vastola, and behind me is Lucca James. Lucca James, say good morning.
Morning.
Ordinarily, I would be doing this show live at 7:30 in the morning, but I encountered some technical difficulties here at the hotel. We're in Palm Coast, Florida, which is just south of St. Augustine for Lucca's first soccer tournament. Super excited about that. How about it? Yeah. So I wanted just to spend a few minutes with everyone to give you the substance of my show earlier today because it's so incredibly important for everybody to understand, at least if you are driving a vehicle in Florida, how important it is to know what automobile insurance coverages are available. I know I sound like a broken record when I get on this topic, but when things happen near and dear to us, it's something that I feel I need to bring up again. So, if you drive a car or own a car in Florida, owning a car is just as important. Hey, Luca, go over there for a little bit, buddy. Thank you. You need to know that there are optional coverages out there that are there for your taking and there for a reason. And even though they're optional, it doesn't mean that they're not important. As a matter of fact, the optional coverages in Florida are more important than the two mandatory coverages in Florida, in my opinion. The two mandatory coverages being property damage and PIP, neither of those are going to compensate you for injuries or damages, medical bills, lost income, whatever it may be that you suffer because of the negligence of another person. So in Florida, because of public policy, in order to carry uninsured motorist coverage on your policy, which is that coverage which would be there to protect you and family members and even anybody in your vehicle, to compensate them for any damages, and also as a means of asset protection, you must also carry bodily injury coverage, which is that coverage on your policy that would pay other people, third persons, for injury that you might cause to them. These are people that you don't know, you may never meet again in your lifetime, but the idea is that if you're not willing to protect other people, then you can't protect yourself. So that's why these coverages are so incredibly important. And understand that if an accident happens today, you can't call the insurance company on Monday and say, oh, you know what, I had an accident on Saturday, and so I want to change my coverages so that I can protect myself. You can't do that. You can't make your changes retroactively. So please, please, please listen to my advice. Look at your automobile insurance policy. Look what coverages you have. And if you do not have uninsured motorist coverage on your policy, call your agent, get bodily injury so that you can get the uninsured motorist, and that way you're covered. And don't get nominal amounts of coverage. I know obviously the golden rule is you pay for what you can afford, but a $10,000 limit of uninsured motorist coverage can be increased to a $100,000 limit of uninsured motorist coverage, a $90,000 difference for roughly $25 to $30 every 6 months. That's not even $30 a month, it's $30 every 6 months. That's the increase in premium to get a $90,000 increase in benefit. So make sure you're asking the right questions. If you're dialing 800 numbers to get to your insurance companies so that you can get an insurance policy, that's fine, but make sure you understand what the coverages are. And if you're not getting good information on what the coverages are, what's available, and why they're used, then make sure that you contact an agent, contact an independent agent, and get your questions answered. You may not know that you have questions. The first question should be, what's available to me, and why is it there? What's it used for? That's what I strongly, strongly recommend that everybody do. And of course, I offer my cell phone number, 833-VASTOLA. That's 833-827-8652. I want to be a resource 24/7 to anybody that ever has any questions at all about automobile insurance, because it's an issue that's near and dear to my heart. Too many times I'm counseling people after the fact to say, this was a really bad accident, you've suffered really catastrophic injury, but there's really nothing I can do for you. I'm sorry, because you don't have the right kind of coverage on your policy. Or alternatively, this is a really bad accident. It's incredibly unfortunate that you caused this accident. And so, unfortunately, your assets are now at risk because retroactively you can't do anything to fix what's happened in the past. All you can do is be proactive and protect yourself from what might happen in the future. And just because it's happened once, don't think that that's your quota for your lifetime. People get involved in multiple accidents in a lifetime, and what we all know is you never know when it's going to happen. I talked about a couple of cases earlier today on the radio show. I did do the radio show live at 7:30, and I talked about a couple of cases. If anybody has any interest in either one of them, please feel free to chime in here on Facebook Live. But I talked about Florida's long arm statute, which is a statute that's there to allow the courts to do an analysis as to whether the court will have jurisdiction over a party, typically the defendant. And then secondly, I spoke about a case where a woman who apparently murdered her husband in the home chose the guardian over her two children who were in the home apparently when the incident occurred. The trial court, which is the lower court, made a determination that a close family friend would be in the best interest of the ward, which are two children, minor children. And believe it or not, that trial court decision was overruled by the appellate court that determined that it was not in the best interest of the ward that should be taken into consideration and should take precedent, but what the mother wanted for her children, because the mother wanted a different guardian than what the court had appointed. And to me, that was just kind of shocking to the conscience that I don't know if this person has been found guilty of murder, but that the rule should be that somebody that apparently, because she had been arrested for the murder, not guilty until proven otherwise, I suppose, but a woman that had been arrested for the murder of her husband, that it was her wishes that took priority over what the court deemed to be in the best interest of the children themselves. So, pretty shocking result to me, but the law is the law. That's why we tell jurors as we are trying to select them for a jury trial that you may not always agree with the law. At the end of the case, the judge is going to instruct you on what is the law on these particular issues. And if you're chosen as a juror, you must follow the law, even if you don't like it. And we get commitments from every person on the panel that might be chosen as a juror to say, yes, I can do that. Because if you cannot follow the law, because you have moral issues with that particular stance, then you're not fit for that particular jury service. So I thought that was a very interesting case. Most oftentimes, I agree with what is the law. The law typically follows common sense. But in this particular case, I found that perhaps it didn't. So this is a snippet of a Facebook Live. I felt as though I should try to get something out there today. It's a summary of the show that I did live at 7:30. The live show will be uploaded to my website, to my YouTube channel. This Facebook Live will also be uploaded, but of course it's only a summary version. I want to thank you all for watching. And remember, if you want to reach me at any time, 833-VASTOLA. That's 833-827-8652. Or you can email me at jvastola@vastolalegal.com. And you can go to my website, www.vastolalegal.com. And you can contact us. You can find out more information about my firm, our results, that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. And lastly and most importantly, let's say good luck to Lucca James today in his soccer tournament all weekend long. And I guess most importantly, if you are following along, my father still needs your prayers, so thank you very much. If you're continuing to pray for my dad, who is still in a medically induced coma on a ventilator. So he's fighting hard. We're optimistic that he will come out of it, but we do appreciate your prayers. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. God bless.